Hey, this is Marilyn Gigliotti.
Hey, this is Brian O'Halloran.
Hey, everybody. My name is Scott Schiaffo, actor best known as the Chulies Gum Guy from the film Clerks.
And welcome to Clerks Minute.
You're listening to Clerks Minute.
And I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Hi, this is Mike Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Men, the podcast I Sell Comics, and the Ming and Mike Show. And you're listening to Clerks Minute. What's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. You got a minute? Good, because you're listening to Clerks Minute.
Hey, this is Walt Flanagan, the Lon Chaney of the 90s, and you are listening to Clerks Minute.
Welcome to Whatever It Takes, a podcast about Degrassi The Next Generation. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Holland. And today we're talking about Season 4, Episode 20, West End Girls. And Kelsey, will you please read us the YouTube summary?
Sure. It's not as short as the last one. The war between Manny and Paige continues when Paige takes credit for Manny's choreography in the Spirit Squad's last routine of the year. Manny reaches the breaking point and starts plotting appropriate revenge. I genuinely had to pause because I really wasn't sure.
Appropriate?
All right. Caitlin interviews Kevin Smith about his new project called Jay and Silent Bob Go to Canada A, which is not the name of it. It's Go Canadian A.
I don't know.
It's Go Canadian
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. They're not. It's appropriate revenge gives me pause, and also it's Jay and Silent Bob Co. Canadian A.
Yeah,
I'm like pretty sure.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
The episode title "West End Girls" is a 1984 song by Pet Shop Boys.
Pet Shop Boys.
I mainly. Whenever I hear the song, I just automatically think of the Flight of the Conchords spoof song on it called Inner City Pressure.
Which is also great.
But the song is about, class struggles and the pressures of inner city life. And inspired by the T.S. Eliot poem The Wasteland. But I'm pretty sure it's the Pet Shop Boys' biggest hit. It's very, very 80s.
Super 80s. I actually kind of like this song. But also, I don't know, what does this have to do with?
I think it's because it has the word girls in it, and that's about it. Because otherwise, it makes no sense.
Nope.
No.
There's no class struggle here.
No class struggle. There's, I guess, social class struggle?
I guess. I mean, they're kind of on the same tier.
Yeah, that's true. But it's, within their own tier, I guess? I don't know. It doesn't make sense, which is nothing new for this format. That's basically what this segment is. Look at the song title and how it doesn't make sense with the episode.
Yeah, because sometimes they do, but for the most part, it's this is garbage.
Yeah.
So we start off with the Spirit Squad is practicing for the final assembly or whatever, and Paige doesn't know any of the choreography, and Manny is killing it.
Yeah, and we actually see some real life cheerleading stunts. I'm sure Carly might comment on the technique that is used later. Our resident cheer expert, my cousin. But yeah, they're practicing the routine for Mrs. H because it's for the end of the year assembly or whatever. And yeah, and then Manny's bitter about how Paige doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and Darcy says, Manny's choreography is more fun than going to the beach, which is doubtful, but okay.
Yeah, and then the credits roll.
Yeah, why are only half the girls wearing uniforms and the other half are just normal?
I don't know. I feel you shouldn't practice in your uniforms. Or should you? I don't know.
No, you shouldn't. Just
whatever. I have no idea. It's to let us know that it's cheerleading time, I guess.
And not gymnastics.
Yeah, that one time we had a gymnastics team.
When we still had Kendra.
Well, Kendra. Yeah. And so then the credits roll, and then Emma, Toby, and Manny are like at their lockers, and Toby's back. And Emma's hair is like looking longer, and does she have side bangs now?
I think it's also darker, because in the last episode I like had to pause because I actually didn't recognize her with her current hair. I think it's like a shade darker, and the haircut's different.
Mm-hmm. And Toby's back. We haven't seen him since like right after the shooting, I think.
Yep, and he's right back to being a big creep. So
yep, and
cool. Didn't miss a fucking beat there.
And Manny is like complaining about Paige, and Toby's like, if I took you to prom, blah blah blah, and
Which,
she
like,
kind of
what does that even have to do
him.
with anything? Fuck you, Toby.
And then he's like, did you miss the part when I asked you to prom? And Manny's like, oh, Toby, you're really nice. But then Marco swoops in and saves her, and he's like, but she's going with me. Sorry, I'm president and I need a school date. Sorry, bye. And then Manny's like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I'm like, actually, I would love to go to prom with Marco. He would probably be the best date, honestly.
He would. He's a good dancer. It'd be fun. And then, I mean, maybe he's a little too type A for me. He's just like, he'd be so like, let's be matchy. And I'd be like, oh my God, what's happening? My prom was not like that. Yeah. So, and then Marco breaks it to Manny that they would be going with Hazel and Jimmy, which is great.
Yes.
And then also Paige and
Mr. Olean. Like, are they like, I feel like that would not be allowed.
No.
Like,
at least it would
he
be
would
weird.
not be allowed to go to that dance. First of all, he's way too old to go anyway. I think my school would let you have older dates come, but there was like an age cutoff. Like,
really?
I think either 19 or 20 was the age cutoff.
Really?
I think so. Because I remember my freshman year, this girl that I like sort of hung out with at school, she had an older boyfriend come and she had to get a permission form for him. But I think there was an age cutoff. I don't really remember. I never dated anybody in high school or like outside of high school, so I would not know. But I feel like it's weird to have someone who is older than high school come to your prom. That seems weird.
You're talking to a person whose date was older than high school who came to her prom.
He was allowed to?
Yeah. How old was he? Let's see. I was 17, so he was 20.
Yeah, but I feel like 20 might be the oldest. Like, I feel like 20 was our age cutoff.
Yeah, he was 20. But then, like, a few of my friends were also dating, like, older. Maybe some of them were 21. No, I think, I don't know. They were either 20 or 21, but my date was 20.
I can see 20 being the cutoff because they don't want people who are old enough to drink and, like, buy kids alcohol. Like, I can see that being the logic, even, like, that's not going to stop anybody in high school.
No.
But, I don't know. But also, the fact that he's in college, he's older, and he literally got fired for preying on Paige.
This specific instance, it makes no sense that he would come to this thing.
No. But like,
weird.
But even if that didn't happen, I feel like he's definitely like 22 or something. And you're like, no, why? Also, why would you want to go to a high school prom when you're an adult person?
Why would you want to date a high schooler when you're an adult person?
There's
a lot of unpacking that we could do here.
And Manny, but Marco's like, blah, blah, blah. And then Manny approaches Hazel, and she's like, really wants to try to make peace with Paige, and she's asking Hazel for help. And Hazel's like, okay, we're going dress shopping. Paige gets emotional. Maybe you can like bump into us and we can try to like reconcile. And I'm like, I appreciate Hazel trying to help this out. And Manny really does want to try to make amends and to squash this because she's like, it's stupid that we're fighting. And she's coming from a good place at first.
So here's the thing about this. One, Hazel is like, well, you did get her boyfriend fired, but like, Hazel, you did not help.
Also, he should have been fucking fired.
Yeah. But like, I think just in regards to like why Paige is mad.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have. She's like, well, you got her boyfriend fired, but like, Hazel, you also helped get her boyfriend fired.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Paige getting emotional via shopping doesn't seem like an opportune time for Manny to swoop in.
No.
Like, she's not drunk. She's just feeling insecure. Let's not send a super hot girl in. Let's not do that. Because, like, as a person who gets, like, insecure and emotional while buying clothes because I'm a crazy person, I would not want... No.
I feel like Paige gets emotional in the opposite way, though. I can see her getting,
But
like,
she
an
was, like-
endorphin high.
But she was, like, freaking out because the dress was tight. Like, she was, like... I watched her, like, having panic
I
moments.
guess that's true.
I watched her having panic moments over the dress being tight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, not a great idea. But then the next scene, we see Caitlin interviewing Kevin Smith on her show because he's in Canada shooting his new movie, Jay and Silent Bob Go Canadian, eh? That's the right one?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And Craig is watching and he's like Mooney. He's like, oh my God, it's Kevin Smith. He's like starstruck.
Listen. All right. Unpopular opinion. Craig and I are one in this moment. Like, I know that, like, it's not cool to like Kevin Smith, and I know that, like, he can be sexist and there's a lot of problematic stuff and he's not always funny and he hasn't made a great movie since, like, Dogma. But I love Kevin Smith. I think he's funny. I love Clerks. I love Mallrats. Oh, I love Mallrats. I have a lot of people like Chasing Amy. I have issues with Chasing Amy. But that's like, I wrote a paper on how many issues I have with Chasing Amy. Basically, he's just like, lesbians just need the right man. Anyway, but I love Dogma. Dogma is one of my favorite movies. I know I've already mentioned Clerks. I love Clerks and Mallrats and Dogma and Clerks 2 even. I'll take Clerks 2.
I'll admit I have not seen a lot of Kevin Smith movies. I've seen like bits and pieces of all of these, but never the whole. I've never watched a whole thing through.
Listen, I'm going to sit you down and we're going to watch Clerks and we're going to watch Mallrats and we're going to watch Dogma.
I've watched a big chunk of Mall. That's the one I've seen the most of, but still
we'll
not
watch
the
the whole
entire
thing because it's good. It's funny. It's good. Here's the thing. I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I was a teenage dirtbag. So I love Kevin Smith and I never grew out of it.
I mean, it tracks.
Yeah. The most dirtbag New Jersey thing about me is how much I still like Kevin Smith and that I still have a really big crush on Jason Mewes. He's like him and his like selling weed and dirty long blonde hair and like too old to be riding a skateboard. Like, that is my type. I'm not proud of it.
I do like Kevin Smith. Like, albeit I've had a very limited like exposure to Kevin Smith, but like anytime he's on a podcast, I'm like, Kevin Smith is funny. He's hilarious.
He's funny.
And I love him on Degrassi. He's great. I think he's funny, but I do know he's like controversial. But whatever. I really liked his episode on How Did This Get Made when he basically just talked about the making of how Wild Wild West got made.
He's amazing. Oh, man. Oh, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's also fine. It's not my favorite, but they did end up with a monkey. So that's fun, which he mentions in this movie, in this episode.
I also think my first exposure to Jay and Silent Bob was on those like I Love the 90s marathons because they had like a segment on those.
Of course they did.
And I was like, who are these people? I don't get this, but that was like that was all of me watching like the I Love the 80s, 90s, whatever the fuck show. But that's how I know a lot of weird references to times when I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, I got really into like all of the Kevin Smith movies like in 8th grade when I was like going through some stuff, and I like was also turning to like The Breakfast Club for comfort. It was the same time when I was like turning to Kevin Smith for like comedy comfort.
There you go.
Yeah, so it was good. It was a good time. It was a bad time for me, but like movie wise,
He helped you.
He helped me.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Smith, come on our podcast.
You love Degrassi. I love how much he loves Degrassi.
He genuinely does. This isn't
Like,
even
he
like
loves Degrassi so much that he literally has a spot, like a huge arc on Degrassi because he wanted to be on the show.
It delights me.
I love
and
it.
One of the things that I really like about Kevin Smith is that like everything he does like with like absolute like sincerity.
Yeah.
Like, he's so earnest and